Hi, everyone. I wanted to come and give you guys an update and talk about the rest of December. We have exactly a week left until Christmas. My voice is a little hoarse today. Excuse me. Not like a little hoarse, but like it's a little froggy. Wow, all of those. Um, so you'll have to excuse the raspiness. It's the weather. Just like today, it's unseasonably warm. Yesterday, it was unseasonably warm here in New York. It's very strange. Um, so yeah, so we have a week until Christmas, and we are just a couple of days away until the winter solstice and the darkest night of the year. And there's a lot of energy swirling around right now. Like there's a lot of energy swirling. And it's really hard to I wouldn't say it's really hard, but it's probably a little bit more difficult to get grounded these days. So really like just reminding yourself and like being in your body. I've had to remind myself to be present over and over and over again so many times throughout the day lately. Um, just because there's a lot happening, and it's almost like I want to it's like after Mercury retrograde, it felt like all these doors, like when Mercury stationed direct, the Gemini full moon that we just had, when all of that happened, like all of these doors just started opening up. For those of you that are following along on my health updates, I did do the first shot for this new treatment that I'm on. And it was rough for a few days. I had really, really heavy brain fog. It's really interesting when you know your body so well. And like I sit with my body. I will journey into my bone marrow and like work with my cells and speak light into them, and just, like I know my body. I know my body very well now, much better than I ever have in my whole life. So when there's this new substance going into it, when there's like, you can feel it. It was insane how I just felt it kind of like I felt it go through my body. Um, and yeah, so I had some pretty heavy brain fog and just generally didn't feel very well, didn't really feel like eating much. Didn't get nauseous or anything, which I'm really grateful for. Um, don't think I'm going to lose my hair. Some people do on this treatment, but so far I think that I would probably feel it, like the tingling and stuff. Like I think that my scalp would be warmer. And I'm doing things for my scalp too. Like I have rosemary tea tree oil that I'll put on it before I shampoo. Like I'll let it sit overnight and stuff on my scalp. So I'm doing things. And even if I do, like it'll grow back. Like I'm not really that worried about it, but I don't think that that's going to happen, even though that is one of the possible side effects and very well could happen as we like increase the dose. They started me off on like the lowest dose because I'm still on my other medication that we have to wean me off of. So it's so the fourth day after the shot is usually when I start feeling better. And I start having a little bit more energy, and the brain fog is really the thing that like incapacitates me, like, because I'm just a, very cerebral person, like I'm using my intellect and my creativity all day long. So when I can't do that, and I just have to, it really forces you to go within when you have that kind of brain fog. It really forces you to go within. So um but honestly, like I feel like I'm getting off easy to be quite honest with this. I laugh about it because none of this is easy. Like none of this is easy, but I can tell a difference in my energy already. Like it hasn't been tomorrow; it'll be a week, and then I'll get my second shot next week, and we'll do the shots every 2 weeks until we get to what they call a maintenance level. it'll increase and then they'll just stay on like the dosage for maintenance. And like, I got to remind everybody that this is not a cure. And that's not even what my doctor's expectations are. My oncologist expectations are not even curing this. It's giving me a better quality of life, right? You know, my blood count and my numbers were so bad, that's why I was tired all the time. That's why I was so exhausted. My body was working way too hard to make my cells, you know, to keep me going. So, you know, I have to remind everybody, because I'm managing my expectations too. And I believe in miracles. I believe that I could beat this and like not have to deal with it in my life eventually. I think that that's quite a possibility. But my goal right now is to just feel better and to like be able to live my life and to be able to feel alive. Like when you're anemic, like I've been anemic for 3 years, when you're that anemic, it's like you literally feel like you're carrying a backpack with 100 pounds in it. And you're just like trudging along and trudging along. Like you know, what I mean, and for as long as that was happening, it was pretty rough. And I can already tell a difference, which is huge for me. Um, I still get pretty tired in the middle of the day, but it's easier for me to regenerate my energy, which I could not do very easy last time. Like yesterday, I took a nap for a couple of hours and then I actually had energy again. And like I was able to be awake for 4 hours and actually 4 or 5 hours and like, you know, be a part of the world. And that was a big deal, you know, to just be able to, you know, have that kind of energy. And so, yeah, so I'm hopeful and can already sort of, I'm interested to see what my blood counts are going to look like. My lab results are going to look like on Friday. So, but of course, I'm always going to keep you guys updated because I know that you all are rooting for me, and I really, really appreciate that. And, you know, hopefully someday I will be saying I beat this impossible to beat cancer. So someday, maybe. Um, so we had the Gemini full moon on Sunday and Mercury station direct on Sunday. Today, the 18th, we will have the Sun square Neptune. So you might find that you have a little less energy than you normally would or you normally might. You also may find that your intuition is a little bit louder, kind of popping off a little bit more. Um, you know, Neptune is in Pisces right now, and now direct, right, was stationed direct on the 7th of December. So with Neptune in Pisces since 2012, we have seen a lot of victim mentality, like very, very heavy victimhood coming from people. Like it's that's almost the epidemic, is like the victim mentality. So we're going to watch Neptune move into Aries next year in March. And I've already been looking at the astrology finally, right? Already been looking at the astrology for next year. And I am planning on doing a video to talk about the 2025 astrology. I know there are other astrologers that are already talking about that. And everybody has a different take, kind of like everybody has a different way of reading the astrology and like kind of their takes on it and how they feel like it's going to be happening. So I always tell everybody to like listen to more than one astrologer and make sure that you're getting like a complete picture out of the whole year next year. Um, I do have my calendar open for January for the 6-month tarot readings if you haven't been able to do that. I have not put on an astrology reading for the year ahead look yet, but I am hoping to be able to do something like that. I don't know. It'll be in January sometime. So keep an eye out for any like updates or messages. I'll put them in the community page. But yeah, so we have the Sun square Neptune today, and you can also, in a lot of ways, like communication. Things just might be a little bit confusing. It might feel like fuzzy brain today. Listening to your intuition and really listening to how you feel about things. This is one of those aspects, along with the retrogrades, the Mars retrograde, the Jupiter retrograde. We talked about how Mars and Jupiter are both of those planets that kind of give us like that action and that energy and that push and that optimism in life. And when they're both retrograde during the darkest time of the year, and we have a Sun square Neptune aspect happening, like things can get really dark and things can get like really nasty inside of your mind, and you could like people spiral under these kinds of things. So really staying grounded within yourself. And it's hard to pull yourself out of a deep depression by yourself. Like I've done it before, I've done it in the past before. I'm very familiar with having to go through being sad or being angry or being frustrated, like doing all of that alone. Like I've done that. The majority of my life I did that alone. And so I understand, but I want you guys to remember that you're not alone at all during this time. And sometimes fear and um, frustration and all of that, they're just a nasty liar. Excuse me. It's just a nasty liar. So, let's when you when you are not feeling particularly good about things, make sure that you reach out to someone. Me, I'm always available too. We will have Venus trine Jupiter retrograde tomorrow, so I'm really hoping that that kind of brings a little bit more positivity to the atmosphere. And it's kind of a split group with these aspects that are happening as we lead up to the Sun in Capricorn on the 21st and the darkest night of the year, darkest day of the year. Um, Leading up, there's this opportunity right now to really like bring things into your life, like call things. I know it sounds so woo woo, and I'm gonna get it from some of you, but like calling things into your life and being able to manifest stuff. I'm a really firm believer in whatever it is that you have in your heart and that you desire in your heart, like it exists, like that exists for you. I'm a very firm believer of that because I've been shown that. Like, I wouldn't say it if I myself had not been witness to it or experienced it in my life. There were things that I wished for my entire existence, and it didn't really happen for me until I started to believe that I deserved those things. I deserved all the love, and I deserved to be taken care of, and I deserved to um, not have to um, beat myself down. Like I deserved to be happy for myself. I deserved to like have like positive things going through my mind instead of the negative things that go through your mind. So you could be on like one of those two spectrums right now, believing that anything is possible and there's really like miracles in everywhere that you look and everywhere you turn around, but it's the perspective. And I have been in both perspectives and I understand both perspectives. So that's why I say, like, if you are in that dark place, like the dark places aren't the worst places to be, because sometimes you find exactly what you need and yourself in those dark places. But also remember that you're not alone while you're going through that. And there's always the light on the other side. As we go into the end of this year and the beginning of next year, we'll have the new moon in Capricorn on the 30th. Chiron will also station direct the day before um, the Capricorn new moon. And so we might find that that too is also kind of like, as we get closer to the new year, that there's sort of like there's a lot of people going through like their dark night of the soul type situations in their lives. And I always have to remind people that that's not just a one time around thing, that you basically go through your dark night of the soul several times. And the reason why you do that is because your soul is calling for you and your soul wants you to listen to you. That's the whole point of it. is like really getting deep down with yourself and looking even further at what you need for you in this lifetime. Um, Mercury's going to square Saturn. Mercury will also oppose Jupiter, and Saturn will square Jupiter. So there's, in the middle of all of the things that are happening, there's like I can see doors closing and doors opening at like a really rapid pace right now. And you can overthink it and you can question, like, what am I supposed to be doing and where am I supposed to be going? But all of this stuff that's going on right now is in an effort for to like rearrange your life and to bring, it's like when you like yesterday, Henry went through and just cleaned everything, like cleaned the entire house and cleaned the bathroom and cleaned, like scrubbed everything, which I'm so grateful that he can do that because I do not have the energy to scrub a house anymore. But he did that, and it was like the energy just kind of lifted in the house, and everything just felt a little bit lighter, and everything felt a little bit more clear. And I could even think more clear when things like that happen. So that's what this energy feels like as we're moving into the end of the year. And I don't, even if we were having this energy and it wasn't the end of the Gregorian calendar year, I would still say that this is a time of closing doors and having new beginnings and having new doors open up. It sounds really cheesy because we're at the end of the year, but it's true. That's what all of this really feels like. And it's intense. Like, it's not something that's just easy peasy and smooth going. It feels really, really intense. So take good care of yourselves right now. We do have that Capricorn new moon right before we start the new year. So, like after Christmas and after, after the holidays, after you're done with the holidays, um, really let yourself clean some things out. And if that means cleaning some things out inside of you as well, let yourself do it. You don't have to start your New Year's resolutions, which I don't do New Year's resolutions, but you don't have to start them on New Year's Day. You can start them the week before too, or even 2 weeks before. So I love you guys. I'm going to try and do another video before the end of the year. I do get my second shot on the 26th. So if I don't see you guys before Christmas or before the new year, happy holidays to all of you. And I hope you're all doing very well and take really good care of yourselves and each other. Bye.